Great rising, beautiful sunshine. Happy Saturday. My name is Miss Audie. Welcome, young scholars. I'm excited to be here today. We are a youth enrichment program. We are a Read Aloud community program. We work with our young scholars in the community to help them build and to grow. And I'm happy to be here. We have Mr. Rob here this morning. Great rising, Mr. Daryl. Mr. Rob, would you like to introduce yourself and say a few words?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's so great to see these beautiful faces, and I am super excited about our guest speaker today. And I can't wait to hear her read her book, Miss Shanice White. And the Young Scholars Academy is closing in on 6 years since inception. And like Miss Audi said, it's a youth enrichment program focused on self-awareness, education, literacy, reading, and we encapsulate all that with the foundation of Black history. We use that as the benchmark and hallmark of everything we do. And we're just so happy to have all these precocious kids involved in this program and can't wait until we can get back into the family center and meet as a family and cook breakfast again. And it'll be great to see all these beautiful faces. So, good morning, everybody, and glad to see you here.
Absolutely. Miran, would you like to go ahead and introduce our guest speaker?
So, our guest today is Shanice White. She's an author and slash educator, and she made the book called Black Girls Make Magic, which she's gonna read today. Is that her?
Good morning, everyone.
Great job, Maran.
Okay.
Good morning, Miss White. You're
Okay.
on.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are blessed this morning. I am Miss Shanice White. I am a second grade elementary school teacher in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm here to read my book, Black Girls Make Magic. Before I actually start reading, I just want to talk about the reason, my why behind the book. And my why is representation. As an early literacy teacher, I know that education and literacy is the root of everything for our children in the schools. And representation within our books that we read is not really there within our schools. The books, not either they're white characters or they're animals and things like that. So I really wanted to bring positive representation into the books that our children read. And also my title is Black Girls Make Magic, but also this is the book for all girls around the world. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Black Girls Make Magic. This book is dedicated to my beautiful goddaughter and all of the beautiful girls around the world. My name is Destiny, and I am a Black girl. And if you've ever heard anything bad about Black girls, then you've heard wrong. I mean, terribly wrong. So please check your source because it should say Black girls make magic every day in every way. Whenever I'm at school, there's magic to be made. Sometimes girls who don't look like me, they whisper and they laugh about my hair, but I never respond. I just close my eyes and visualize what mama would say. I know mama would say something like, Destiny, you should never care what they think of your hair because they're just trying to figure out its magic. So my hair is only what man can do on the moon, and that's defy gravity. My skin is magical. It is beautiful and dark, and it protects me from the sun. My skin is special because it has all the colors of the rainbow in it. Whenever other kids make fun, always remember the beautiful queens of Africa and my mama's words. Whenever they judge your skin, look into the mirror and say, I love you. My mama always tells me, and so I do. Destiny, I love you so much. I even give myself a big hug. But not only do Black girls make magic for our looks, nor is school the only place we make magic. We make magic out in public. We make magic in our church. We make magic in our homes. Our presence everywhere is simply magical. And we also make magic by jumping the hurdles of life. Whenever I feel low or I lack confidence in myself, I remember to always keep my head held high and to adjust my crown. This too shall pass, I say to myself, because my mom taught me that nothing lasts forever. Black girls make magic when we believe and respect ourselves. Destiny, you can be anything you put your mind to, I tell myself. And I have my mom to thank for that because she tells me all the time. Black girls make magic when we know our worth. I know my worth. Do you? Black girls even make magic when it is time to go to bed at night. I fall asleep and dream of all the wonderful things I am, all of the wonderful things I will become. So, Black girls near and far, speak highly of yourself. Say it with me. I am beautiful. I am smart. I am brave. I am loving. I am capable. And most of all, I am magical. I am black and I make magic. The end. Thank you all for letting me share my book.
That was awesome.
Beautiful.
That was awesome.
Lovely.
So I have to ask. Oh, we got some people who have questions. So we'll always let the youth go up first. Miran,
Yes,
what's your
ma'am.
question? For the
So
author?
your goddaughter's name is Destiny?
No, my goddaughter's name is Tanila. Destiny, I just always love that name. So I was like, yep, Destiny's gonna be the name of my character.
Who made the artwork?
I actually found an illustrator. His name is Samir. So
Nice.
he's my illustrator.
Oh,
Samir
beautiful.
Yassir.
Yes.
So
Love
Miss
it.
White, did you have those conversations with your mom growing up?
I actually had them with my grandmother
Okay.
all the time. Yes, I grew up in Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh
So
wow.
I didn't see there wasn't a lot of people who looked like me in my schools or anything like that. So I always had like self-esteem issues and things like that growing up. But my grandma was always there, to reaffirm me. And I'm really big on affirmations. So even with my scholars, every morning we start our class off with a weekly affirmation. And you know that I just don't have them say it. We have to believe it. And it really does change the atmosphere and their energy. So I'm very, very big on positive affirmation.
Awesome. Oh, Amaya has a question.
I really liked how you wrote the book because um, it reminds me of me because in my school it wasn't a lot of people looking like me um and I would usually like um just look at people and sit next to people, and sometimes they will like one time somebody spit milk at me in my
Mm.
face. So
Mhm.
Thank you, Amaya, for sharing that. Yes, this is really, I know that this is something that usually happens within our school. So I really wanted to make a book about self-love and loving yourself no matter what people think about you. You know, you have to have the love for yourself. So thank you for sharing that. I'm sorry that happened to you.
Go ahead.
And
Oh, are you done, Amaya?
my cousin's name is Shanice.
Ooh,
Oh,
sweet.
yeah.
Go ahead, Miran.
I have two comments. One, since people have like you as a teacher, are pretty lucky since like you're an author. It's pretty cool to have a teacher author as an author too. And another comment is that in my class we have this boy. His name is Jared Six, and he's like full on brown, but he's so positive. Like, I would call him the angel of positivity all the time. Like not
Yeah.
comments, literally a fact. He's always so positive. I love it about him.
Yes, I love you. You got to keep the positive energy because what's the point of being negative? It makes your mood go down. Just not a good place to be at.
I remember, and it's amazing the things we remember as adults, the things we remember as kids. But I remember when my mom worked for the government, she had the cornrows
Mhm.
going back, and her boss told her she had to take those out because it didn't fit and I'm paraphrasing, but it didn't fit the culture or the
Wow.
image of the organization she worked for.
Mm. Yeah. Mm-mm.
So your book is very timely. It's right on point, and even to the point now where some states are outlawing and banning discrimination against hair
Yes.
style.
Yes, Wisconsin, just I think that they're about to pass it, but I heard something about Wisconsin, the state that I'm from. And I also experienced this. This is just not from my childhood. I actually experienced it. I went to college, San Diego State University, so in California. So as soon as I graduated from high school, I went over to California, Southern California. In San Diego, I would say it's diverse, but at San Diego State University, not at all. Like it was just like a bunch of blacks like spread out. So we definitely um still experience some of these things even while I was in college. Now that I'm in Atlanta, of course, I don't really experience those type of things, but I am seeing it within my students, them not really loving themselves, them wanting to change their hair up and things like that.
And can you tell the kids the versatility of Black women's hair? How versatile it is and all the things you can do
You
with it?
do anything. I just took my hair down. I have my natural hair. I just threw on something right now. But you can do anything. The textures, just love it at all. Love it, everything about it. And don't let anybody say that your hair is nappy or whatever it is. That is your hair, and as long as you love it, don't care what anybody has to say.
Yep. Awesome. So you went from Wisconsin, and we know what that state looks like, to San Diego, to California, and now you're in Georgia and Atlanta.
Yes.
So you're just
Miss
hopping all
Shanice,
around.
where could we find your book?
Amazon. It is on Amazon. Also it is at Walmart. So walmart.com, Barnes and Nobles. It's in store, of course, in Atlanta and Barnes and Nobles, but everywhere else is online. So Amazon, Walmart, Barnes and Nobles.
So here's a quick question for the young scholars that you can help answer, Miss White, because we have some up and coming authors, and the next person who's going to read is one of them. How do you go about getting your book on Amazon, Walmart? I mean, you kind of have it being sold pretty much mainstream. Like, is that an arduous process, and that's a word, young scholars, arduous.
It's definitely a process. But like I said, it's not something that can't be done because there are, oh, I see it, you pulled it up. Yes. It's not something that can't be done. It was just take a few weeks. But I'm actually self-published, so everything I do is with my brand on it and things like that. So literally it's just a quick Google search on how to do it. I will tell you a little secret. Ingram Spark is a big help. So for all my future authors, make sure that you look up Ingram Spark because that will allow you to get into these different stores such as Barnes and Nobles, Walmart.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
You might have said it already, but how long have you been writing, and what inspires you when you write? Like for our young authors, talk about the things that inspires you, and when you run across a writer's block, what keeps
Mhm.
you moving, and how do you challenge yourself to kind of keep that glow?
Okay, so I've always been into writing. I always had journals since growing up, but I feel like I really didn't take it seriously until last year when the pandemic hit. Like I said, I'm an educator. I'm a leader in my building, so I'm always busy. I have a lot of things going on all the time. I never really had the time to really sit down and be like, okay, I'm gonna write this book from front to back. But when the pandemic hit, I was at home and I really had time to just bring all my notes together and really start writing. And then I published. And like I said, my inspiration really comes from pieces of my childhood. And now that I'm teaching in Atlanta, I see a lot of similarities with me even growing up all the way in Wisconsin. So they are dealing with some of the things that I went through as a child. So I really wanted to bring positive representation into the books that we read in the class.
Okay, that's what's up. Thank
You
you.
know,
Anyone else have any questions? Go ahead, Rob, and then we'll go to
yeah.
Miran.
So, you're in Atlanta, and it's curious because you said some of your students come in with some self-esteem issues or self-image issues. How many black teachers are in your school? And being in a city like Atlanta, where there's a lot of black faces all around, you know, the kids are still dealing with self-image, and can you kind
Yes.
of expound on that?
Well, all of the teachers at my school are black. Yeah, except for the librarian. But pretty much we're all black. But we're still seeing that, and I believe that the media plays a big role. The things that they're watching on TV, YouTube, and all of that. Something that is different that is coming out is colorism. That I'm seeing within Atlanta, light skin, red bone versus dark skin, that type of thing. So that's something different that I'm experiencing. Colorism still comes with the hair type and things like that. So I'm experiencing students, like when I taught the older grades last year, light skin equated to beautiful for them. Dark skin, you weren't as as beautiful. So that's what I'm really seeing within Atlanta.
Okay.
Whereas California, it was really just, like the hair and things like that. But colorism is really coming out in Atlanta for sure.
Mm.
I seen the question here said, "What's red bone?" That's what they call like lighter skin women.
All right.
And they keep on saying red bones in songs. I'm like, what is it?
Exactly. It's in the media, the things that they are hearing, especially within these songs and everything. So yeah, gotta switch it up on the media. So
There was a word that you said that resonated with me that I think as Black people we need to be careful of, and that word is diversity.
mm,
Diversity tends to mean everybody else but us.
mhm,
But when you look at the definition of diversity, it's intrinsic. It means a kind of inclusive.
mm,
But when it's used, it doesn't really mean inclusive. It means inclusive except for
mm.
us. So,
Thank you for sharing that. Look, I'm learning something every day.
All
yeah.
right. And with
I
that, we're gonna get back to our scholars. And my mic, okay. We're gonna get back to our scholars. So our first reader, and she's a budding author. You're gonna enjoy her work, Miss White. Is Miran? Miran, are you ready?
Yes. I found the call. Yeah. Let me start. So before I read where I left off, I'm gonna read the last two lines that are before it. The last few lines. The two lines before it. Hey Mia, good to see you here. Lindy says a hug. Hey Lindsay. Is that Simon, the boy you were helping with art skills? He asked Lindy. Mm-hmm, Lindy responded. Simon, this is my best friend Mia. Mia, meet my good friend Simon. Lindy introduced both to each other. Then the judge started talking. Welcome everyone to the art contest of the year. I'll be calling names out to know you, so I don't make mistakes on everyone's names. The judge grabbed his clipboard of names. Nikki? Me, Nikki said. Let's see. Azara? Sir, it's Amar. I'm here. Lindy, present. Michael, I'm here. Michelle, I'm present. He spoke. Mia, hi, said. And finally, Simon. I'm here, sir. Simon said. Okay, everyone's here, I said. Everyone can start painting in 3, 2, 1, go. Lindy was thinking what to draw, but Simon already had an idea. Everyone was hard at work, especially Simon. There were 3 minutes left, and Lindy was worried. Jimmy rings. Ring, ring, ring. The timer went off. Time's up. Brushes down, shouted the judge. Let's start with tomorrow. What I drew was a puppy that had blue galaxy wings and a head. Amara said. His name is Giggle, a combo of an angel and the galaxy. Puppy was great and had blue spots. His tongue was as pink as bubblegum. Claws looked like cotton candy. Michelle, why don't you go next? The judge asked Michelle. Sure, she said. I drew my favorite animal, a chicken, she continued. The mom's name is Bethany, the daddy's name is Henry, the baby girl's name is Nadal, and the baby boy's name is Mike. I love your drawing, Michelle. Why don't you go next, Mia? Sure, I drew an alicorn, pink and blue, my favorite colors. Mia told everyone. Michelle, it's your turn. Okay. I drew a black cat, and her name is Smokey. Then, the eyes are super green, and the cat had lots of detail in the background. It was night. The moon was there. The cat was near a store. Michael may win this. How about you, Lindy? Lindy mumbled. Lindy, it doesn't matter what you drew. Just show it. I know you tried. Simon whispered to Lindy. Okay, thanks. Lindy whispered back. Okay, I'll go. I drew a mini rainstorm. This raindrop is a devil, and the other one is an angel. Lindy said, with lots of courage to everyone. Wonderful. Nikki, you're next. Mine is about me. It is my brown curly hair and my favorite pink dress and my beautiful brown chocolate skin with my big sister Natalie. She spoke. Her sister's yellow hair looked like the sun, while she looks like a delicious chocolate bar. Love it. Last but not least, Simon. The judge said. Oh my God, last alone. Simon thought. I drew a family, and they all have powers. The little one Sally has the power of the moon. The boy Adrian has the power of the earth. The other girl, the big sister Annabelle, whose name Abby, had the power of the sun. The mom Sarah had the power of the planets. And finally, the dad George had the power of the universe. It's not. This is just a fiction drawing. They aren't real people. Or are they? I'm just joking. Good job, the judge said as he was handing out pieces of small paper with everyone's name on it. Check one person's drawing you think was good. Then that will conclude the winner of the art competition, the judge said. As everyone checked one name off, they put their papers in a small mini ballot box. Did everyone put their pieces of paper in the ballot? The judge asked her. Wait, I'm still deciding, Nikki shouted softly. Okay, take your time, the judge said. It's Nikki, sir, but thanks. Nikki corrected him. Sorry, now continue. Okay, done. Nikki interrupted him. Okay, judge said. Has everyone voted who had the best painting? I'm gonna stop there because the winner's coming soon. I want to keep that for next week. I love yours.
Nice job. Amazing. I'm always so excited for you to read. I really love your story. I love where it's going. I love the part where you're saying about the different members of the family have the different powers. That was really cool. Like power of the universe, power of the sun, like just super powerful, right? That's amazing. That's amazing. It's like it's like Miss Shanice White's story. Black girls make magic, right? Like just cultivating that power, that strength, that wisdom, all of those things. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Miran. Would anyone like to say anything? Anyone like to share? Any
I like the
questions?
powers because this is me right here. I
Mm.
mean, I'm dressed down right now, but here's me with my powers. I don't use it all the time, but I love the power. I love the creativity. It's not easy writing a book. It's not easy coming up with content, like Mr. Darrell said. Writer's block.
Mm.
Um, you know, Great job, and I can't wait to hear more. And I see that Miss White had her hand up, so
Yeah.
let me shut up and let her get in.
Thank you so much for sharing with us. I had some notes down as you were reading. I love the powers. I feel like your piece is already very powerful. It's cultivating everything. And also, I just want to give you a thumbs up on your rich vocabulary and your details. I noticed that you said delicious chocolate and just all these different things. So very good with the details. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for supporting the story. I honestly think it's very cringy, but thank you so much for supporting it. Either way.
Keep up the good work, Miran.
And Miran, anytime you have writer's block, just literally whatever comes to your mind on a separate page, just write stuff down because you might think it's just just that you're never gonna use it, but you can go back to that page and be like, wow, this actually is powerful. I want to include this. So just start thinking of things, think about your dream vacation or think about random things and just it'll help your mind flow and get you back on track.
Good
That's
stuff.
me
Good stuff.
making random things like beans and then making word math, like literally word math. Like watch this. A coin plus this plus a banana equals a laptop. It's literally random. But I like use it every single day.
Right, and it'll get your brain flowing. Yes.
All right, good stuff. Miss Audie.
Beautiful. All right. So next up, we have Amaya. Is there something that you would like to read for us this morning?
Good morning. I'm gonna read Kelly and the Secret Journal mix up. Is it okay if I read 3 chapters? 2 to 3 chapters. Do you have enough time?
I think we have enough time. What do you say, Mr. Darrell?
We're gonna continue.
Yeah, I think we have enough time, and Ayana is logging on from New York, so she's going to be joining us in a few minutes. So yeah, we should have some time.
Oh, beautiful.
I'm gonna continue reading. I'm gonna continue reading. 7:16. 3:30 p.m. Now it is after school. Here is the rest of what happened at Tiffany's. I finished with my homework and wrote in my journal while I waited for Tiffany to finish her homework and her workbook pages. Whatever those are. I started writing that I figured out who Mom was mad at. She was mad at Branny. I did not know why Branny was in so much trouble for being a clown at school. Clowns are funny. I wrote that I, I wrote that I didn't like the way Mrs. Harrison talked about Brandy. Maybe going to jail when he grew up, it was mean of her to say that, and I have never heard of anyone having to go to jail for being a clown. You might have to go to the circus if you are a clown, but I wrote that Mrs. Harrison doesn't know anything, and then I wrote something very bad. I wrote that Mrs. Harrison should just shut up. A few minutes after I started writing in my journal, Tiffany took her homework paper and left the room. When she came back, her paper had red marks all over it, with lots of red writing at the bottom. We can't do our homework in pen. I blurted out. I know that I had decided not to talk to Tiffany, but that this was too important. Tiffany let a lot of air out of her lungs, like grown-ups do when little kids don't understand something. I'm not turning this paper in, she said, like she knows everything. My mom helped me make the writing better, and now I'm going to write it over. What is the writing at the bottom? I asked. I leaned over Tiffany's paper to look at the words and read. Tiffany scratched the paper away. I mean, Tiffany scratched the paper away from me. That's some stuff my mom wants me to add. She said, so I will write that stuff after I write the rest of it again. I could not believe what she was saying. That's copying, I said with lots of surprise. Copying is against the law. It's not copying when a mom writes it, Tiffany said. My mother told me. So, are you sure? I asked her. It still seemed like copying to me. Yes, I'm sure, Tiffany said. Now you need to be quiet so I can do my work, or I'm going to tell my mom you think she is breaking the law. I did not say that, I told her. Then I stuck my tongue out at the back of Tiffany's head when she turned around to do her stupid copying. I took a good look around Tiffany's room. I had not been there since I was in first grade. It still looks almost actually the same. It is mostly pink and white, and Tiffany always has her teapot and cups all set up. As I was looking around Tiffany's room, I heard the doorbell, and then I heard Mom's voice. I ran into the hallway to see her. Thanks again, Savannah, Mom was saying. Then she saw me. Oh, there you are, Kelly, she said. Get your things, please, and do it quickly. Mom didn't need to tell me to get my things quickly because I was already running back into Tiffany's room. I grabbed my books off Tiffany's bed, shoved them in my book backpack. When we got back to our apartment, we had a very quiet dinner. I asked Brandy about his clown tricks, but before he could answer, Mom said, I have heard enough about Brandy's clowning for today and told me to eat my peas. I ate 11 peas. It took a few minutes. I love to eat peas. I love to eat peas one at a time rather than in a big crowd mouthful. While I was eating my peas, I had an idea for how I could help Brandy learn to behave better. Do you know that is a fable is? I asked him. Yes, I know that a fable is Brandy. said said his mouth was very full. Bran always puts every single one of his peas in his mouth at once. A fable is a story that teaches a lesson.
Fable.
I told him in a fable. That lesson is called a moral, more, moral. Maybe fables have talking animals instead of people. I know everything about fables because we talked about them yesterday and today at school. You're a talking animal, Graham said in a mean voice. Then Mom made him say sorry. Do you know the fable of the city mouse and the country mouse? I asked Graham. I'm gonna stop here for today.
Amaya, great job. Great job. I wish you could see your facial expressions. They're so awesome when you're reading. And I love it when our young scholars are reading books that have terms or words in there that are difficult for them to say, because that means that once you get that word, then you always have it. So it's stretching your mind, it's stretching your imagination, it's improving your reading comprehension. So great job. And I love
Thank
your
you.
tiara.
Thank you.
Awesome, Amaya. I really enjoyed you reading. You really brought these characters to life, especially Tiffany. You really brought these characters to life. So, as I tell my second graders, go ahead and kiss your brain. Awesome job.
Thank you.
Amazing job, Amaya. There's some great new words that you learned as well. Fable. A fable has a moral at the end, right? It tells a story, teaches a lesson. Those lessons are important for us to keep with us and to remember. So that was very, very awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And how many chapters did you get through?
One and a half, right?
Yeah, 1.5.
Okay, that's fine. That's quite all right. Thank you. We'll continue again next week.
Yes.
Yes.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right. Next we have Ayana. How are you, sweetheart? Great rising.
I'm good.
Morning.
What's up, lady?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. And you?
I love your Gilligan Islands hat.
Thank you.
What are you reading for us today, Miss Ayana?
So today's book, I'm doing a continuation once again of the book Frazzled. I have been reading this book for the past couple weeks. And so far in the story, Abby kind of just found her thing. She's like this lunch revolution at school, and she was so worried about not finding her thing that she couldn't really enjoy middle school. But now that she's found it, she's finally starting to enjoy middle school. Poindexter Middle School was changing, and we weren't just part of that change. We were the ones changing. After a while, the teachers and the lunch ladies started to notice a major drop in the regular cafeteria line. But no one knew why. Except us, of course. Things were changing for me, too. I didn't know if the middles were getting easier or if I was just getting used to them, but I wasn't about to question it. This is the beginning of a whole new lunch era. It's Poindexter's 2.0, and everything's going to be great now. Everyone was talking about the lunch exchange, and they were right too. Everything was different. Not too long ago, the only seats we could get were the sad, defective lunch table on the far end of the quad. The tabletop was faded and crusty from old bits of food, and the bench was covered in a stinky, permanent layer of leftover juice or soda. We had to sit on sheets of notebook paper just so our pants wouldn't get stained. Finding a table at lunch used to be impossible, but now we always have one. It was like we finally made it. Now people actually knew who we were, who I was. I was more than just Peter's little sister or the unexceptional Middle Woo. Without even fully realizing it, I had become the center of this whole revolution, and it was my thing. The bigger the lunch exchange got, the more it became something beyond just us. Someone started calling it the Poindexter Lunch Revolution, and the name just stuck. News of it had even reached the high school. I tagged along with Peter to the movies one night while we were waiting for the movie to begin. His friends started talking about our lunch exchange. They even asked me if I knew about it. I shrugged it off and pretended like I didn't know anything. Even though I found my thing, I still felt kinda off about it. How could I be so unsure of something I was so sure about? Maybe there was something wrong with me. Maybe I wasn't doing it right. When you found your thing, nothing could go wrong. That's how it worked, right? So why did I still have this feeling that I was on the brink of disaster? That Maxine and Logan kept saying there was nothing to worry about, but I couldn't help thinking that things were soon coming to an end. Turns out, I was right. It had been a perfectly normal day until a huge dark cloud hovering over the classroom trailer. Foreshadowing? I walked into the study hall, but things were definitely off. Everyone was huddled in the back of the classroom around Alexis Bunker, who was completely freaking out. When she saw me, she made this rolling noise and started mumbling hysterically. I should have known what was coming next. I was watching one of those moments where you're watching things happen, but you're never fully realizing it's gonna happen to you until it's way too late. It was like I was in a movie theater watching my own personal middle school drama play out before me on screen. Fade in. There are suddenly heavy footsteps outside the classroom and a knock on the door. Enter a snotty-faced office aide. She hands Miss Skelser a bright pink note, and they both glance up and look straight at me. Cue dramatic music. Abby Wu, please report to the vice principal's office immediately, and take your bags. Take your bags? Man, you just weren't visiting the office. Take your bags wasn't just a little bit of trouble. Take your bags was the nail in the coffin. And take your bags was the worst case end of the line doomsday scenario. The journey across the school field felt a million times longer than it normally did. I could feel a million eyes following me as my walk of shame all the way up to the office. They all knew what I knew, what I had known since before I even started middle school. I was a goner. The vice principal called me into her office and looked disapprovingly at me from behind her desk. I have never been in Miss Klein's office before, and it smelled a lot like dust and burnt toast. I had never talked to Miss Klein before either, and to be honest, I had never wanted to. She seemed like she meant business, especially now. After all, she started calling me Mrs. Wu. Maxine has a theory that whenever an adult calls you by your last name, it means you're in serious trouble, or that they can't remember your first name. This is probably the first time in my entire life that I have actually wanted someone to forget my name. But the look on Miss Klein's face, I knew that wasn't it. Do you know why you're here? After a while, it started to hit me. Sweaty palms, shaky knees, undeniable urge to bite all my fingernails. All surefire signs that I was about to crack under pressure. What do you know about this lunch revolution? What do you know about this lunch exchange? I hope you realize this is a serious matter. So were you or were you not involved? Miss Klein must have been a CIA interrogator in her past life. I tried to channel Clara, who always had a knack for getting out of trouble. I clearly didn't share my little sister's acting talents, despite my best attempts to. You look stimulatingly innocent and clueless. It didn't seem to work though. Then a voice came in through the intercom. I have Miss Bunker on the line for you on line 1. It's about our lunch situation, and it sounds important. Miss Bunker? Just hearing the name gives me chills. Alexis Bunker's mother was not notoriously scary. Or so I thought. Miss Bunker was one of the parent chaperones for our first grade class field trip at the zoo, and she made her group hold hands the entire time and would not let them eat their snack packs until they recited at least 5 correct animal facts. Even worse, she made Alexis wear a harness, and I'm not even sure that was a kid harness. It looked more like an old dog leash to me. Miss Bunker had to be in control. If she somehow found out about our secret lunch exchange, there would be serious consequences. Apparently, the trouble started when she found cheese stains on Alexis's homework project. A dietary regimen in the bunker house is very strict and does not include cheese puffs. The Bunker family food rules are about a mile long. And I thought my mom was tough because she wouldn't let us have cereals with marshmallows for breakfast. If I was a Bunker, I would definitely starve. I think Miss Bunker trained her family dog to sniff out artificial flavoring, which is probably how she found a bag of empty cheese puffs crumpled at the bottom of Alexis' backpack. Alexis was caught red-handed, or whatever the cheese puff equivalent of that would be. Her mom threatened to send her to boarding school in Switzerland if she didn't confess anything. And most parents would have just said that without meaning it, but Miss Bunker never made empty threats. So Alexis told the tires, and her mom told the school, and that was it. Our whole operation was brought down by cheese puffs. Maybe this was what people meant when they said junk food was bad for you. When Miss Klein asked me to wait outside her office, she wanted to talk to Miss Bunker, and I knew it was really bad for me. I hated getting in trouble, but I also hated waiting to get in trouble even more. Next to the middles, waiting was the worst. You were stuck in between something that had already happened and something that was going to happen, right in the middle where nothing is happening. Waiting for the water to boil, waiting for the dentist, waiting for the bathroom. I was pretty sure that it was all part of their plan. Making me wait was just the beginning. Who knew what Principal Klein and Miss Bunker had in store for me? I could just imagine it. Detention, or suspension, or even expulsion. Not to mention that this was it for my permanent record. When something goes on your permanent record, it's with you for life. Hence the word permanent. Bold, all caps, triple underlined. Not only that, everyone would know. My children would know. And my children's children would know. And my children's children's children would know. What would they think of me? All I wanted was to eat a good lunch and figure out my thing. And now, my life was over. Well, it would all be as soon as Miss Klein opened that door. Waiting outside of her office felt like sinking in quicksand. I knew I was doomed. It was just a matter of waiting for it to happen. The longer I waited, the more time I had to think of all the ways it could ruin my life. Community service, boarding school, exile, jail, counseling, boot camp, a parent phone call, and finally, detention. I braced myself for the worst, but then the strangest thing happened. She brought me back into her office and said, "Miss Wu, I'm letting you go with a warning. There will be no more organized food swaps or snack trades. Do you understand? We have a school lunch rules for a reason. You can't just decide to change the rules." I nodded because it seemed like a thing I was supposed to do. Then she let me go. I walked to my next class in a complete and total daze, thinking this must be what it felt like to narrowly escape death. The next morning, Ms. Klein gave a school-wide warning during homeroom announcements. We like to remind students that they must use food services provided by our cafeteria or individually packed lunches for home. For nutritional and legal purposes, exchanging foods was highly prohibited. Students who violate these guidelines will receive strict disciplinary action. Enjoy lunch! And that's when it hit me. it was official. Our lunch revolution was over. That's all I'm going to read for today.
Ayana, oh, Netflix has got me spoiled, man. I'm like waiting. I'm just listening and listening. I want to see next episode, and then you stop. Ah, I love listening to you read.
Thank you.
Amazing. Nice
Good
job.
job. Good job. Good job, Ayana. And show the book cover again.
Sorry I was late.
Don't be sorry.
Don't
You're
be sorry.
here.
We're just glad you're here. Great.
Everyday disasters and impeding doom.
And Ayana, you came on late, so you didn't get a chance to meet Miss Shanice White. She's an educator and an author of an awesome book that she read earlier in the
Hi.
show. Miss White, do you have any words of encouragement, any advice, or any suggestions for our young scholars?
Really, you guys are doing amazing things, so keep it up. Whenever you feel down or something, just do things that make you feel, your self-care, whether that is take a walk, listen to your music. You just have to keep doing what you're doing. Don't lose your spark.
There it is. All right, young scholars, you guys have anything you want to ask or say to Miss White, since she has so graciously honored us today with her presence and reading her awesome book, which I just ordered off Amazon. Can't wait for you to be here to read to my daughter.
I hope you bring out some more books so I can buy them.
That is my plan. I'm actually coming out with Black Girls Make Magic, a coloring book. So that will be out in the
I'm definitely buying it. I like coloring.
Give you the thumbs up. All right, Miss Audie, I would turn it over to you, and I gotta say out loud that I'm digging that sweatshirt. I love the color. I think that's dope.
Oh, thank you.
I was trying to read it as you got into I'm blind. I'm trying to read it, and I'm like, wait a minute.
It's a crossword. It's from a local designer. His name is Kafani. And he does, his line is called Persona. So it just has like some different things. This is like don't fit in, persona, different. Just like, standing out, standing in your power again, in your magic.
And he's local. That's what's up.
Yeah.
My
Once
mom
again,
just said she really likes that hoodie.
Thank you.
Yeah, hoodie's good.
I want to say thank you again to Miss Shanice White. Really, really excited to have you.
Nice round of applause for Miss White. Give it up, y'all.
Yes.
Give it up.
Thank you all.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I want to close out by saying that, yes, I would love to do this again. And we're, again, just excited to have you. You guys, as Miss Shanice said, don't lose your spark, stay focused, stay focused, keep your eye on the prize. You all are amazing. You're beautiful, amazing reading, amazing vocabulary we learned today. And just thank you all for sharing space.
All right.
And I'd like to say, thank you, Miss White, for joining us. And if you have any students that you think would benefit from coming on and reading, and just the camaraderie and the dialogue, please invite them.
Yes, I will do.
Beautiful.
Let's see real quick from the sidelines. We have Zysker Morphus says, great job, Amaya. That's my girl. Look, you got a fan club. Okay. I see someone recommended that a few other people get involved. Thank you so much. Please share with other parents, get young people involved. And if you're a parent and you want to be involved in this, you can also be involved. So it's not just for kids. Parents can also come on. You can read with your young ones. This is about family and community. Principal Terry Poe from Brookings is on. She joined us today. That's really dope. I love Miss Poe. She says, I think, who is reading? Ayana is reading. You are adorable. You are also an excellent reader. I love the expressions and intonation in your voice. Keep up the fabulous work. And then Zyska Morphus says, I really love the story. So great job, you guys. Really appreciate you. Really appreciate you guys coming on and reading every week. Miran, keep writing. I'm looking forward to buying your first book. I'll probably buy 10 of them. All right? So make sure you finish those books. So
I'll buy another 10.
And that's what's up. So with that being said, as Miss Audie said, thank you everybody. Rob, Audie, appreciate you guys for doing what you do every Saturday morning. This is becoming a virtual institution, and I'm loving it, really loving it. So don't forget, people, Miss Shanice White has a book. It's called Black Girls Make Magic. You can purchase it at Walmart. You can purchase it online like I just did on Amazon. Please, thank you, Miran. That's my girl. Hold on, let me put you on the big screen. Wait a minute. Let's show everybody. Here we go.
Nice.
There we go. Black Girls Make Magic. It's in paperback. Only $12.99. What is that? That's a drop in the bucket. Get the book. Get the book. Buy the book. Please support Miss Shanice White. And Miss White, thank you again so much. And tell your students we said thank you for allowing us to borrow you this morning.
Yes, thank you all. I really enjoyed this platform, and I will be back for sure. Thank
We're
you
looking
all.
forward to it. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. Oh, don't forget, today, if you're in Springfield, Mass., at the Boys and Girls Club Family Center, there is a Black Book and Business Fair happening from 12 to 5 at the Boys and Girls Club Family Center on Acorn Street. The Metro Record will be there live, interviewing all the business owners, interviewing the authors, interviewing the people coming in. So you can either watch online, but more importantly, please go down to the Family Center. They're doing amazing things for the community. With that being said, good night, everybody, and have a great weekend.
Peace.